Greetings, movie lovers, and welcome to Movie Madness Super Bowl 49, the special edition episode. Today we're coming to you to talk about all the movie spots and movie trailer spots that were shown during the Super Bowl. I'm your host, Matthew Vkarsic from Vkarsic Films.
And I'm Matt Corman from Tundra Portal.
Welcome, and before we get into the spots, we have quite a few different movie spots. Let's just go over a little recap of the game. We won, which was very exciting. But I think it was funny because the people upstairs above me in my apartment were more excited than I was. Like, I don't really watch football, but it was the Super Bowl, and it's got the commercials and everything, so, like, I'm gonna watch it. But, like, oh my god, they were up there jumping around, shouting. It was great. But just a little recap here. Through some miracle, Patriots won 28-24, beating the Seahawks by 4 points. It was such a tense game. Like, oh my god, I started praying that they were gonna win. I got so into it. But and Tom Brady was named VIP. I think this is his third time winning VIP? Or MVP, sorry. I'm not with it right now. But yes, congratulations, New England Patriots. Congratulations, New England and Patriots fans across the world. It's so funny because my girlfriend is a New York Giants fan. And I after the game, I went on Facebook and I saw she updated her stats to say, "Go New York Giants." And I commented saying, "Maybe next year, hon." All right, but without further ado, let's get right down to it. The first one that we're going to go over right now, this is pretty much just going to be one big, long trailer breakdown. So the first TV spot we have for you is the Minions Super Bowl spot. And what better way to start off with Minions? Everybody loves Minions. Basically, it's just a bunch of Minions just in a crowd. Just like cheering and doing what we do during the Super Bowl. And for some reason they take off their trousers. Matt, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I thought it was a cute little teaser to the movie. I don't think that's going to be any footage from the actual movie, but it's still cool to see, a Super Bowl spot with the Minions. And Despicable Me 1 and Despicable Me 2 are great movies, and I love both of them, and I'm really excited for this new movie that's coming out this year, especially that focuses mainly on the Minions. What are your thoughts on the trailer?
I love Minions. I can't get enough of Minions. Like, whenever it's like, because right now it's snowing outside. And whenever it's like snowing really hard, I wear my Minion 3D goggles that were like the limited time things when Despicable Me 2 came out. I'll wear those out there to keep my eyes covered, and it works. And people get a good laugh when I walk into a store with Minion goggles. But I love the Minions, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be part of the movie because they'll just throw something with Minions out just for fun. Like they'll do all the animations, and maybe something's coming up or whatever, I don't know, and they'll just throw it out there. But I thought it was great. It was cute.
Yeah, like around Christmas time, you saw the Christmas commercial with the Minions.
Right. Yeah, everybody loves Minions. How can you not? All right, the next spot we have for you is Fast and Furious 7. I really like this spot so much, simply for the fact because not only does it look cool, but it's, going to be such a great... I can't find the words for it because obviously it's one of the last movies with Paul Walker, which everybody knows he met an untimely death, very premature death. It was very tragic, but it's going to be really great. It's going to be a real great, I guess you could say, send-off for Paul Walker. Because Brick Mansions came out last year, I believe it was, and I heard that was a pretty good movie, and this is definitely going to be a great last film for him. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, last week I watched Brick Mansions. If anybody has Netflix, it's on Netflix now, so I say definitely get Brick Mansions to watch. It's a really good action movie. In terms of Fast and Furious 7, I love the Super Bowl spot. It was really short, but it gets right to the point where what they're gonna do, who the villain is, and I love that scene where that car jumps out of one building while getting shot out and crashes into another building, and when the person jumps out of the car and it crashes to the other side of the building and falls off the building, I thought that was insane.
It's so funny because with these Fast and Furious films, they get more ridiculous every time. Like, there's no way in any world that would actually work. But you know what? As an audience, we don't care because A, it's cool, B, it's Vin Diesel, and C, it's Fast and Furious. What are you gonna do? Fast and Furious I can break down every Fast and Furious movie right here, right now. Fast and Furious is about cars, awesome action stars, hot chicks, and just ridiculous action. I feel like it's going to be so fun. And I like the fact that of all buildings he can crash into, it's like some sort of like art exhibit with probably, expensive, priceless pieces of art. But it looks like a really great time. I love the spot.
Yeah, I like how Vin Diesel, says, it's more about the family. Like in the first trailer, you see Vin Diesel say, like, I don't have friends, I have family.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
It's definitely gonna. I feel like it's definitely gonna be a family-driven story. But
no pun intended.
I didn't even think about it. Actually, yes, I'm gonna intend it. That pun was intended. Alright, the next spot we have for you is Insurgent. This actually piqued my interest because it doesn't feel anything like the first one. I had no desire to see the first one, just because I thought it was going to be like another Twilight. Not necessarily like Twilight, but it captures the same audience as Twilight. Shailene Woodley and Fault in Our Stars and stuff, but it looks like Shailene Woodley takes off her oxygen mask and is back in action in the sequel to Divergent. I really hate the titles. That's the one thing I hate. You have Divergent, Insurgent, and I don't know if there's another one coming, but I'm sure there is. But it gets me all confused. But this one piqued my interest because you have Shailene's character like jumping through glass, and it's pretty much the building explodes and like everything's like particleized, if you will. It looks very interesting, and watching it, I couldn't help but think this will look really good. I don't know if it's coming out. I assume it's coming out in 3D, but in X Plus 3D, it's going to look pretty good in 3D with all the shards of glass and all the stuff flying at you. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I watched the trailer for it, and yeah, it is coming out in 3D, so that's a plus for you, because if it's definitely if the movie comes out and there's no other big movies coming out in that time period, they'll definitely show an X Plus. I actually did see Divergent today, about like a couple hours ago, as we're recording this podcast, because I told Matt this before we started recording. When I was shoveling the snow, I actually fell on my back and hurt myself, so I needed something to do for a few hours while I recovered from that, so I switched on HBO. Excuse me, and Divergent was on there. I said, "Oh, I haven't seen this movie yet," and I watched it, and I actually liked it a lot. And like Matt was saying, it's a great movie, and with the Super Bowl spot for the new one, it looks definitely interesting. If you've seen the first movie, they have to go into like this dream world to kind of take these weird tests. So my guess is with the character jumping out of these buildings, it might be like a dream test or something. But like I always say, time will tell. Or when we see another trailer, we'll find out.
Did you watch this episode 7? This past episode of Movie Madness we just did?
I didn't watch it yet, no.
Oh, dude, I took a picture of you from Facebook, and I put a little speech bubble, and it says "Time will tell."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that is actually the thumbnail for the episode. So, good thing I saved it, because now I get to pop it in there again. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go and watch Divergent, because because this piqued my interest, and I was hoping it wasn't going to, but it did. Um, I'll have to, and Lord knows I hate going out of order. I made that mistake with The Matrix, and I will never do it again. So I'll have to go back and watch Divergent.
Yeah, Divergent was very good. I enjoyed it very much.
Alright, next spot we have is Kingsman, The Secret Service. Man, I cannot wait for this. Every time I see something about it, it gets me more and more pumped for this. Because British, hello. Everybody who knows me knows I love British accents. B, there's a part in the spot where it says more badass than Bond, and then it goes into a bunch of these like quick camera cuts and all this action and people flying and all this, crazy stuff, and it just gets you so excited. So I'm really excited to see this movie. Matt, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited too. I know this is random. Actually, it's not really random, but I think my favorite character from the trailer, at least, is probably Samuel Jackson. Just because he's so bizarre from like all these other characters.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know who my favorite character is yet because
I mean, I know the movie didn't come out, but you can see, kind of, get an idea of, what's what, or who's who, I should say.
Is your phone ringing?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what? It never fails. Every time we go to do a podcast, one of our phones rings.
I think we're all set.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think it's going to be great, and Sam Jackson, as always, is going to be fantastic. Even though he's not completely the main character, I think he is name above title. He is one of the top paid, but yeah, it's going to be just like crazy. All right, next spot that we have was the spot for Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I really liked this spot because
it's clever. I'll say that.
It was very clever. It goes on to say, like, if you're gonna take on the Patriots and then they have Patriot Lou come out, it's like, you better make sure their balls are inflated, which is a play on words because there was that whole Deflategate snafu and all that conspiracy and discussion and all that. And actually, they're talking about conspiracy and stuff with the Super Bowl, saying that, they cheated and whatnot. But we're not going to get into that. The Pats won. They got the trophy. Do they get rings? Or is that just baseball?
Oh, I don't know. They might get rings. I'll have to look into that. I know they obviously get the big trophy.
Yeah, I think they get rings. I don't know. But, like...
That's not, I think, like you said, Tom Brady might get it because he got either MVP. So maybe it's like, it'd be like an MVP. You get a ring for each one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think they get rings. I think, yeah. And then Tom Brady got a truck, too. But, back to Hot Tub Time Machine. When they say make sure their balls are inflated, it was a picture of one of the characters. I can't remember his name, the actor's name, but his balls, his testicles were actually inflating. So, but that was really it. It's just a very clever spot, play on words. And I don't think they meant any harm. It was just a joke.
Yeah.
But still a funny spot. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was pretty funny. Like I said, it was clever. Getting the Patriots in there, or making a Patriots joke. I think it's a little strange that Adam Scott's going to be one of the main characters, and it's not John Cusack, because I know he was the main character in the first movie. So I don't know if he just said no to the sequel, but either way, Adam Scott's a really good actor, so I'm excited to see him in the movie.
Yeah. I like the first Hot Tub Time Machine, and I think this one's going to be pretty great.
Yeah, it was a funny movie. I'm excited for this one.
All right, the next spot we have is Pitch Perfect. I missed one. All right, we'll get to that in a second. All right, Pitch Perfect is the next one. It really doesn't matter because I have them numbered on my thing, but it doesn't matter. All right, Pitch Perfect. I really don't have much to say. It was a good spot. Just, a quick little teaser for the movie. I feel like this genre of film, like the song and dance type of Step Up or Honey, those type of movies, I think they're way overdone. Like, I don't know, Matt. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it depends on the movie. I mean, some are good, some are bad. A lot of them are really good, like musicals, like Rent, live action ones. That's another good one. Hairspray, that's a good one. I haven't seen the first Pitch Perfect, so I can't really say anything about the series. But if I do watch it, I'll definitely give you more insight on it. And the Super Bowl trailer looks pretty good. I mean, they're all good actors, and it takes a lot of talent to both act and sing and dance on screen. So, I know it does take a lot of work to do that. So it'll be, if I do see the movie, it'll definitely be an interesting movie to see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go see it just cause it's one of those movies. Like, yeah, there are a few of those movies that I like. Like I saw Honey, not too long ago with oh God, what's her name? Jessica Alba, and that one wasn't too bad. I like the story behind that one. I never saw Hairspray.
Don't forget Frozen's a musical as well.
Well, okay, there's a fine line between a Disney musical and a live-action musical. Disney musicals I can tolerate. I'm not a huge fan of live-action musicals. I liked Les Mis. I liked Rent. But it's just it really takes me away when they just burst into song. Like when it's a cartoon, you're in a cartoon world where anything can happen, so you're pretty immersed no matter what happens, Like Frozen, you have a talking snowman who dreams about summer and doesn't know what will happen to him. But, like, when they burst into song, you don't really care. And plus, with a song like Let It Go that gets stuck in your head for, like, the end of time, you just don't care. But with, like, human beings in live action, it's different for me. But yeah, it's got good actors, and I noticed there was someone in there beatboxing a little bit, and I do like beatbox, so I don't know. I still haven't decided, but that's my thought. All right, the next spot we have is 50 Shades of Grey TV spot. It was a good spot. Like, they added a few more things that weren't in the trailer, but they still had stuff from the trailer in it. One of the things that was funny to me was that I saw the spot on TV, and I was simultaneously. This was my night last night. I had the game on. I was editing the show, and I was on Facebook, reading everybody's comments and stuff about the game. And the 50 Shades spot came up, and I watched it, and then in the spot, Mr. Grey, I don't know what his first name is. He's like, this is my playroom, and the female lead says, what's in there? Your Xbox? And he kind of gives a, very faint little shake of his head, like, no, that's my Xbox isn't in there. But it was funny because one of my coworkers and one of my good friends, Tom, said on Facebook, she is so foolish to think that, or something along these lines. I'll put the actual comment up, but something along the lines of, like, she's so foolish to think his Xbox is behind that door or something like that. Like, the more I watch stuff about 50 Shades, the less I want to see it. Because in the beginning of that spot, it says, like, books sold over 100 million or something like that. Or, I don't know. Trailer views on YouTube over 250 million. And then fantasies provoked, countless. Let me just debunk that. This is going to get a little raunchy, but, like, I haven't had some sort of kinky experience with my girlfriend yet, so no, that's a lie. I'm sorry, viewers, but it's a lie. It just makes me not want to see it so much because they're really driving on the fact that it's going to be, like, a sex movie, because that's what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a sex movie. But I know that there is a story in there, but they're just not telling it because they know, and I know, that it's going to turn people off from what the movie's really going to be about. Matt, what do you think?
It'll be an interesting film. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. I'll definitely say that. I don't know if I'm going to go see it yet. I mean, I like to give every movie a chance, like, no matter how good or bad, or even if it's just not my style. But, I mean, I'm sure it looks like they've done a good job with, like making the movie and everything. So I think review-wise, it might do good. I honestly can't say. I was just thinking now as a joke, instead of Xbox, it should have been like triple Xbox or something. That would have been funny.
That's good. I like that, triple Xbox.
Yeah. Then it would have been in the room, but...
Yeah, that would have been in the room. But yeah, that's my rant on 50 Shades. Like, I'm going to go see it because my girlfriend wants to go see it, and when she wants to go see something, I oblige.
You going to go see it X Plus?
Yeah, I told her it was coming to X Plus, and she geeked out. She's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "This is."
Okay.
Oh God. But
it's on 3D, right?
I really hope it's not in 3D, because that's gonna be something new.
It's not. I was just joking around.
I really hope. All right, the next one we have up is Seventh Son. Matt, what do you think about this movie? I'm not too sure yet.
It's interesting. I don't know how it's going to play, like, rating-wise, but I do want to see it. It's interesting because I love Jeff Bridges. He's one of my favorite actors because one of my favorite movies is Tron and Tron Legacy. And Jeff Bridges, he always brings a great performance. And I know it's about the seventh son of the seventh son. It's like the chosen one, pretty much, and he has to do something and pretty much save the world. And I know there's like witches involved. I don't know too much about the story, but that could be a good thing. That I don't know everything, and when I see the movie, a lot of stuff will get revealed to me. So I am excited to see it. I'll say that. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's from the producers or creators of the 300 movies, and those visually were beautiful. I love the 300 movies, and so I know this movie's gonna visually look beautiful. And I do like Jeff Bridges, and actually the first Tron movie was on TV the other day. And but I feel like he kind of gets a little bit crazier as he gets older, because they had that thing on the one of the Super Bowl spots about...
he's like meditating, right?
What?
Was he like meditating or something?
Yeah, it was like Dreaming
like
with Jeff Bridges or something like that. Dreaming with Jeff.
Some can or something, spinning it around.
I don't know. I think he gets a little crazier with time, but that's okay. And Lord knows I love Julianne Moore. She can cast her spell on me anytime she wants, I'll tell you that. But I don't know. I think it'll be entertaining. Like, any movie can be entertaining, so I know it's going to at least be entertaining. I don't know, I kind of feel like they're kind of ripping off Lord of the Rings a little bit. Not so much, but, like, I feel like Jeff Bridges is like...
Gandalf?
Yeah, he's kind of like trying to portray a Gandalf. And then you have Julianne Moore, who's kind of like the Sauron type of character, and then you've got, I don't know what's his name, the main kid who is the seventh son, who's Frodo. But
I didn't think of it that way, but
yeah, I don't know. It could be fun. All right, the next one we have up is SpongeBob. So excited for SpongeBob. They didn't really give us too much more than what the trailers have already given us. There were a few quick things in there, but it doesn't matter because I'm so excited for SpongeBob. And it's in 3D. So, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go see SpongeBob. I'm really excited. I love SpongeBob. The show is such a great show. And, it's a new movie coming on the big screen. It's crazy to think it's been 11 years since the first movie came out.
Has it really?
Yeah, it came out in 2004, so...
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. And to see a new one on the big screen. I didn't see the first one in theaters, so I'm definitely going to see this one, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. Totally. And it's so funny how they kind of turn SpongeBob into, or make him into the superhero genre that's blowing up right now. Because we've got like Iron Man and the Avengers and all that, and that's like the real big thing right now. And then they go and, they have to go to the surface, and then they become superheroes with these abilities. Patrick has the ability to eat a lot of ice cream really fast. And it's just going to be a great time. Because it's SpongeBob. You can't go wrong with SpongeBob.
You said Toowoomba?
Oh, I love that episode. You have it on M for Minnie when it should be W for Wumbo.
You got it set to M for Minnie when it should be set to W for Wumbo.
Oh, that's such a great show. Alright, the next spot we have is Unfinished Business. Vince Vaughn is at it again with his shenanigans. Basically, you have Vince Vaughn, Dave Franco, and that guy who played the villain in Rush Hour. I can't remember his name. Tom Wilkinson. And I guess they're like all business partners or part of a business, and they go on a business trip. And it's just, I think it's just going to be your typical Vince Vaughn shenanigans film, just like with a different story. But that's not... I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I enjoy Vince Vaughn's movies. I think they're funny, no matter what they are. Like, The Internship, I really liked. And, nothing else really wants to come to mind right now. But it's so weird for me because this is the genre... Excuse me. Oh, Dodgeball. That's another one. I love Dodgeball. But he's kind of taken on that genre of like the serious comedic type of roles. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's like I don't know. When the first time I ever saw Vince Vaughn in a film was The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which is like a sci-fi thriller. And it's just so weird to have him from that and take this genre, but that's my thoughts on it. Matt, what do you think?
I think it definitely looks interesting. If it's anything like The Internship, I like that movie a lot. I'll definitely go see it. But yeah, like you said, Vince Vaughn, he's an interesting actor, and I definitely want to see him in this movie, see how he performs.
What I like about his movies and the characters he plays is he plays pretty much the same character. Like, in the sense of, like, he's very quick-witty and, like, really fast banter, and I'm like, how do you learn these lines and can say them that fast? But, yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll have to see. And Dave Franco is, like, he's really getting up there, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I saw Neighbors last year. That was a really funny movie.
I thought it was okay, but I feel like it was, I don't know, because the creators of This Is the End made Neighbors, and I loved This Is the End. I thought it was hilarious. But I felt like they rushed Neighbors. I want to say 90% of the jokes weren't that funny. There were some that really made me laugh. But
I like the jokes a lot in that movie. A lot of them were really good.
I don't know. I felt like there was too much hype for it after This Is the End. It had so much to live up to, you know?
You gotta love that Robert De Niro scene.
That was pretty funny. That was one of the ones that really made me laugh. And there was another one where they were like, where Seth Rogen and what's her name were trying to make love in the kitchen, and they said something. They were talking in British accents, and that made me laugh. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it. But yeah.
Oh, is it like Rosamund Pike? Is that her name?
No. Rosamund Pike was remember Doom? She played
Yeah. She's also. Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Gone Girl. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I know it's the Australian actress. I'm trying to remember her name. I know she's from X-Men First Class, and she's going to be in X-Men Apocalypse. I just can't remember her name.
Yeah. It's gonna bug me now. All right. Well, while I look it up, because that's what I'm doing right now. Matt, why don't you start us off with the next spot, which is Ted 2.
Oh, this one was good. It's in the, speaking of the Super Bowl, you just see Ted and Mark Wahlberg. Both their characters try to. Well, at first Ted explains that he's getting married. He got married to Tammy Lynn, and they're going to have a baby, but they need a donor. So their idea of getting a donor is to sneak into Tom Brady's house. And did you find the name yet? Or?
Rose Byrne.
Okay, Rose Byrne. There we go. And I'll let you explain the rest of it because I know you don't mind, being a little PG-13.
I thought it was a great spot. Like, I wasn't. I hope this is part of the movie because it's a great twist for it to actually be a Super Bowl spot. Is they need a donor, so they go to the new MVP's house, Tom Brady, and it's so funny because they're like. Mark Wahlberg's character is like, "Are you serious? Are we really breaking into Tom Brady's house?" And and Ted goes on to say, 2 MVPs, this kid's going to be a champion. They lift the sheet and a golden light appears. And Ted says, and that's while it's resting. And he's like, oh my God. It's a very raunchy spot. But it's just hilarious. And I thought it was perfect for the Super Bowl. And I really hope it's part of the movie because I think it's a great clip. Matt.
Especially with the Patriots winning.
Oh, yeah, especially with the Patriots winning. Especially.
Yeah,
but I'm super excited for Ted 2. I feel like, because I know in the last Movie Madness episode, I said, I wasn't really sure because this wasn't the plot I was expecting. The more I watch it and the more I really just focus and pay attention to it, the more I start to, get more on board with it. Plus it's Ted, First one was great. I'm sure this one's going to be great. And it's been, 2 years or so since the first one came out?
Yeah, 2012 actually, so, wait, I can't remember the year. It's either 2012 or 2013. No, 2012, because it's the same year Spider-Man 1 The Amazing Spider-Man came out, because I saw both of them at the drive-in.
Oh, so wait, it's been 5 years?
No, 3 years. 2012.
2012. Oh, yeah. 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so it's about 3 years. So they've had 3 years to do this and do it right. So I'm looking forward to it. The next one we have is Terminator Genisys. I'm going to say it now. Matt, you know my thoughts. And I've said this in past episodes. This is my subtitle for it. Terminator Genisys, I give up. Because it even says, words come up, this is going to change everything. That's all you've been doing with Terminator movies, is changing everything. Because you have the ability to time travel, so you're going to change everything. But then that doesn't work out, so you're going to go back and change it again. And I can't keep up with you guys!
I know you're going to argue with me, but I actually think this movie looks pretty good.
Of course you would.
It has potential, I'll say that. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be good. It might be like Salvation, but if it is good, then that's great. Cause
I didn't even see Salvation. I stopped at 3.
Salvation was considered the bad one. Well, 3 was okay, because it's still Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before, this isn't really spoiling anything, but there's one scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's not really him, it's just CGI. Like, you see his body, but it's not really him.
Yeah.
You just CGI it. But in this one, you actually get to see him, so... And plus, James Cameron kind of helped out with giving ideas for the story, so I hope it's good. It's not good.
It definitely looks action-packed. It definitely looks like an entertaining movie, but in terms of a story, I don't know. I don't know if I can, I don't, I'm not emotionally ready for this. I can't.
Well, look at the bright side. You won't have to pay for it, so that's good.
What's that?
So look at the bright side. You won't have to pay for it. So
I won't have to pay for it. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. It was a great spot.
If it makes you feel better, I'm going to pay to see it because I don't work in the theater. If I pay for it and it's bad, then that's my loss with my money. But I'm still excited to see it regardless.
but it's not going to be bad. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those movies that either lives up to the originals or, you know, just does so well. It's going to be like, oh, it's better than Salvation and whatever. I don't think it's going to be bad. But I could be wrong. I kind of hope it's bad, just because I'm tired.
Hope it's good, because I want it to be good.
All right. Next up, we have Tomorrowland. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I liked the teaser trailer, and I like they gave us a little bit more this time around. And I'm really interested. And it's Disney, so I'm really interested to see what they do with Tomorrowland. I don't know if it's based off anything or a pre-existing story, but Matt, what do you think?
I think it's interesting. Actually, the funny thing is, it's not really based off anything, but it's actually based off Disney World itself. Like the whole world you see, it's actually Disneyland, like a really, I don't know, like advanced world.
Futuristic?
Yeah. That's all I know about it, but it definitely looks interesting, and it's really cool to have George Clooney in it. Is that to say that?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's just I like the idea of like a world where you can just, and you're right, it is pretty much Disneyland. You know, it's like a world where you can create anything that you're crazy enough to. Yeah, that kind of world fascinates me. That's my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to see it. When did it come out, in May? I could be wrong.
I have no idea. If it comes out in May, it better come out later May, because Avengers is going to take over May.
Yeah.
May is the month of Avengers.
Yeah. I bet you're definitely going to see Avengers Next Plus.
Oh my god, it's so close. Well, hey there, kids. Come gather round and listen carefully. It's time to learn about aspect ratio with your host, Matthew Gorman.
This is really off topic, but I just want to talk about aspect ratios. The first Avengers movies was shot in like that 16:9 widescreen ratio, where you don't have those black bars.
Yeah.
So it's like HD TVs, but the new ones being shot in scope. And if you watch like that on a TV, that's like with the black bars on the top and bottom. But seeing a movie shot in scope in a theater is better, because Matt, you probably noticed this. Whenever you see like trailers and stuff, you see like the screen like wide and open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when that's the wider ratio, so you get more picture with scope.
Yeah, the widescreen.
Yeah. So it's definitely better to shoot a movie in that, because obviously you get a better picture.
Oh yeah, and like a lot of people, especially people I know, whenever I watch a movie, they're like, "Oh, widescreen! I hate widescreen. We got to do full screen because I hate the black bars." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? With widescreen, you can see more of the picture."
Well, full screen's kind of a letdown, because like, you know, back when DVDs, when you had full screen, it wasn't like the full screen. It actually cut off like 75% of the picture, because it's only small. It only full screen converts it to the 4x3 old TV boxes. So if like you plug in a DVD now into like a widescreen TV, you'll see like the box, kind of like when you watch a standard YouTube video that doesn't have the widescreen. It'll be kind of like Yeah, so full screen is not really a full screen. It's actually the 1:33 aspect ratio. So it's like the TV box ratio. Widescreen, it could be either the 16:9 or the which is called flat, or scope, which is like the widescreen, the black bars on the top and bottom. Yeah. I mean, it's better to watch like the widescreen on an HD TV, just because you get the HD TV picture. But with scope, you get the black bars. But like I said, watching scope in a cinema is better, because you get the full picture, because it expands and you get a bigger picture. And especially like going back to the Avengers, you're gonna need a better picture or a much bigger universe. Well, like a bigger universe, but a bigger picture in this universe.
We got one more. Can we move on?
Yeah, sorry. Just went a little technical thing. Just want to teach people about aspect ratios.
All right. The last one we have, I saved the best for last. The Jurassic World spot. Oh my god. If I wasn't excited for Jurassic World before, this got me 10 times more excited. Oh my god. I love it, because they finally revealed that the raptors are trained, and they don't give us the whole picture of the new dinosaur, but they give us a little more glimpses. Oh my god, I loved it. And I was talking with someone yesterday, and apparently it's not called the D-Rex anymore. It's called the I-Rex, which translates to Indominus Rex. And for good reason. Matt, you take it so I can catch my breath.
Alright, yeah, I'm really excited. The funny thing is, when we're watching the Super Bowl, it's actually one of the first commercials you see. I thought it was going to be much later to see the Jurassic World and all the other trailers, but you see the SpongeBob trailer, and then you see the Jurassic World trailer, and like, whoa, here it is. And then, yeah, definitely, when you see Chris Pratt's character, you see him looking at like 3 raptors, training them, saying like, look at me, and you look them directly in the eyes, and you see him like communicating through his eyes with these raptors and making them stay and stuff. And then you see that this new, like, that's the I-Rex dinosaur, like, attack these guards and everything when he's running away, and then you see him hiding under, like, this little pillar area. You see him sweating and closing his eyes and trying to remain still so he doesn't get killed by this huge, crazy dinosaur that the laboratory created, and it just gets you more excited to see the movie. Got your breath, man?
What's that?
Did you catch your breath?
Yeah, I'm good. I got my inhaler. We're all good. One of the things I also liked, with addition to the Raptors, because that was the biggest question for the longest time, is like, you know, when we saw the first trailer, and he's like riding on his motorcycle, and the Raptors are going behind him, and it's like, why aren't they attacking him? You know, are they trained Raptors? Or they finally answered that question, which I'm so glad they did, and I think that's a great concept. And plus, you know, they've done things with pteranodons before, but with only like a handful of them, and it was in an enclosed space. Now we got that shot of all the visitors running, and now we know why. They're running from the pteranodons, and you can see one of the pteranodons pick a woman up and fly her away. I think the action is going to be great, and you get a lot more story and more insight into the new dinosaur, the I-Rex. Like, there's a line where he's hunting for sport. And I thought that was a very interesting concept as well.
Yeah, those I must say the child actors. I know you only see them for like 2 seconds, but they did a really good job. Like, you see like a nail go through like that little orb thing.
Yeah, the gyrosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, the gyrosphere.
One of those actors. Gosh, what's his name? The little kid, the younger one. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain. I gotta look this up now. Oh gosh, brain fart. All right, give me 2 seconds. It won't take me long.
He does look familiar. He's probably played.
He's played in the first 2 Insidious movies.
Oh, okay.
Ty Simpkins. Ty Simpkins. That's his name. He's known for Insidious, Insidious Chapter 2. He was in Iron Man 3. He was the little boy in Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Who in that town. But yeah, they put that kid through so much. Like, I saw like behind the scenes stuff of the first Insidious movie, and he was really scared of the lipstick face demon, or the red face demon as they called him, from the first one. He was so scared of him, and they had to be like, oh, it's just an actor, you know, take his prosthetic finger off and you'll see a real finger and all that stuff. And then to put him through a second movie, and he caught a break with Iron Man, and now they're putting him in a dinosaur movie. That poor kid they put him through so much. But he's a great child actor. I think he's talented. He's got a huge road ahead of him. But one of the other things, while I'm looking for something to share, that I really enjoyed with this TV spot was the music.
Eyes on me. Good.
It's very different from when we got the trailer, because with the trailer it was a very slow piano to the Jurassic Park theme. It's like da 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 da, and if you go to the theater, my theater, you'll hear that on the trailer vision too.
Yeah,
But this one's very more like dun dun type of like very like upbeat type of like I can't think of the right word for it, but it was definitely a more high upbeat music. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely gets me excited for the movie. When I saw American Sniper, I actually saw a little podium thing with Jurassic World. I didn't see it at first, but I heard the music. Like I heard the small, the slow dumb piano theme that said, "Oh, Jurassic World," and then I saw the little podium that says Jurassic World. I said, "Yep, there it is."
I want to share this with you guys right now. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but I came into the Super Bowl almost an hour too late. I thought it started at 7 when it really started at 6. So SpongeBob and Jurassic World, you said they were one of the first trailers or spots played. I missed those. So like when the game was over, I went to go look for all the trailer spots to do this show. And, they said, oh, there's, I found this Jurassic World one. I'm like, oh my God, I missed this? So I shared the spot on Facebook, and one of my coworkers and film colleagues and very good friends, Daniel Fontaine, and he's also a huge movie buff as well. And I've talked to him about maybe getting him on this podcast once or twice because I know he has a lot to say, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I posted it with the comment, "I'm geeking out right now," and this is the conversation we had. He comments and he says, multiple dots, I don't know yet. They gave way too much in that trailer. Not liking trained raptors. Too cheesy / unrealistic. We'll have to wait till summer, I suppose. And here's the thing when Dan and I get into a conversation about movies. It goes on. The comments get longer, and we go back and forth. It got to a point where I thought he was going to call me, but I came back with this. I'm like, Trained Raptors gives it something new. Would you rather have a JP movie, and when I say JP, Jurassic Park, a JP movie with the same old shit? People in the woods running from T-Rex, raptors, and combies, etc. Yes, they introduce new dinos, but they need to have a new story and new twists, otherwise it's doomed to be another Jurassic Park 3, which didn't do so well. He comes back and says, yes, I'd rather have more of what I got in the only good Jurassic Park movie, which is the original. I'm cool with the created dinosaur, except for the stupid killing for sport line, which is unbelievably dumb. Trained raptors? Never. Not even remotely realistic or possible. And 20 years after the original, and velociraptors are still 6 feet tall, velociraptors were no bigger than a turkey covered with feathers and possibly wings. The only way they can get around that error is to say that those are Utah raptors, which are 6 feet tall. And I'm going to post all this, pictures up in this, but I went off. I go on to say, continuity, my brother. If they decide now to make the dinos anatomically correct after what we've grown up with and what we're used to from the previous JP movies, then it's not going to feel like a JP movie, and it's going to turn people off. Plus, if you create a new dino, then you don't know what it's going to do. If it wants to kill for sport, then it's going to kill for sport. Not to mention, all these dinos were created in a lab. They are not natural births, they are lab experiments. And if they can make them all female to a fault in the first Jurassic Park, then I can buy that they can train them 20 years later. And I'll put the rest of it up. I'm not going to go on. It sort of dies down from there. But yeah, we have to get him on the show. And he makes some fair points, but I don't know, Matt. After hearing all that, what do you think about that conversation?
What that stuck out is when he said, or what you read of him saying it's not realistic. Well, cloning dinosaurs isn't realistic anyways, and two, it's a movie, so you kind of have to put yourself in that mindset,
Right,
and this is another world where they've cloned dinosaurs and they've done all this stuff, so I guess, training raptors kind of goes with that world, And plus, they can genetically modify dinosaurs. If you look at the book, in the book and the movie, they both, in the first movie, they tried making them all female, so they went reproduce, but that went horribly wrong. Also with the book, when you had the raptors, they're really smart, and the way they attack is very precise. So they can genetically modify that. You know, if it's been 22 years, they can genetically modify that to make the raptors be more trustworthy to people, and so yeah.
And I don't think that, you know, he went to go say he went on to say that you know, they're raptors, they're vicious, they're lethal, they're not dogs. I understand what he's saying, but I don't. When we see the movie, I don't think their explanation or how they're going to show us how they're trained is not like, oh, sit, raptor. You want a treat? You want a bone? Sit. Give me paw. Good boy. That it's definitely not going to be like that. Like Chris Pratt, he's like, you know, eyes on me, and he's like, it's going to be a well thought out, you know, way to show us how they are trained. I bet. So like he's really looking at this very black and white, if you ask me. But that's the great thing about Dan, is that he while you and I be like, oh, this looks great, he looks deeper into the movie. And
all I can say is it was a small teaser, so all I can say is, you know, time will tell.
But yeah, that's Dan. I really think we should get him on the show. At some point. But that's it. Those are all the movie spots for Super Bowl. Thank you guys so much for watching our special Super Bowl 49 edition of Movie Madness. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and now on Tumblr. We have a new Tumblr. You can also email us at moviemadnesspodcast1@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share with all your friends, and, you know, help people come to our show. The more people that come, the more shows we make, so, and we're going to try and make it very, very funny. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Anyway. What?
It's all the snow.
Yeah, it is all the snow outside. It's messing with my zen.
The Patriots winning, the snow.
What?
The Patriots winning and the snow.
Yeah, the Patriots winning, the snow. My brain's burnt out. Anyway, I'm Matt of Karstic from Karstic Films.
And I'm Matt Gorham from Tundra Portal.
And we will see you this coming Saturday for a brand new Movie Madness. And cut.